Yo, what is up, guys? What is poppin'? We are back with the NPL, and we are facing Melon, aka coach of the Exeter Chief Electivires. Very solid opponent. He's in our division. We already played in week 3, where we defeated him in a close one, I think 1-0. And yeah, he's at the moment he's like the second best team in the league, I think, right behind us. We are at 8-1 heading into week 10. He is at 7-2, and yeah, he pretty much just like us. He has like pretty much clinched playoffs by now. So there's definitely a big chance that we face him again in playoffs, depending on like the seeding and shit like that. But this is still a very important game for me because if I win, I clinch the number one seed in our conference pretty much, unless like Melantosh wins 2 games in a row 6-0 while I lose 2 games 6-0. So this is pretty much a number one seed clinching game for us, and we built a pretty hot squad, I must say. Very, very hot indeed. We got a nice Reuniclus, which functions as a counter for his double Psychic and Lele and Zam, as you see, as well as a decent check to what's called Caldio, and also can shoot hits from Tornado's T, but I'm not trying to switch it in on it because I don't want to have my lefties get knocked off. It's a max death, max HP. Um, Leftover set with Psychic, Toxic, Protect, and Recover. Like it just beats most Lelas and most Zammers 1v1. But obviously, he could run Encore Zam, he could run Taunt Lela, he could run Taunt Taunt Thingy. So I gotta be ready for those. But overall, like this thing should put in quite some work versus Bring. He pretty much brings the same team that he brought in week 3, besides Munchlax over Keldeo. Very interesting bring Munchlax here, but like an Eviolite Curse Talk set could put in some work. Even though like I have knockoff on the team, I got superpower on Lando, so I'm not too worried. But it also like is a decent switch into Volcarona if it's thick bad. So definitely gonna be interesting what kind of set he is and how I have to play around it. But I'm not too worried at the moment. Like the biggest threats are pretty much the first 3, as well as Mammoth one if he's like live or bandit. Um, Tapu Fini is like a mixed defensive set, mostly speed dev. I got some speed, so I don't get speed crapped, but shit like the slow fat mammal. You get Surf, Moonblast, Knockoff, and Defog. Pretty standard. I brought Calm Mind the first game, so I like just want to mix it up here. Um, just getting rid of like lefties or specs on Lele, on an Assault Vest, on Tornadoes. Getting rid of a Scarf or specs or whatever on Keldeo would be nice. Same with like a Neviolite or Berry on Munchlax or Life Orb or Band on Mammoth one. All could come in pretty handy versus him. Like getting like knockups pretty much free to spam in the early games. So yeah, we're packing the tech here. Landorus T is my designated scar for this week. Pretty solid Revenger versus his entire squad almost. Um, it bobs like Lando and Zam, Lando, Lele and Zam with like Earthquake or U-turn respectively. Obviously, like Lele needs some chip, but Earthquake still has like 60 to 70% or something. I'm pretty much very offensive, I think. Got some bulk on there too, but definitely enough speed for like Jolly Scuff, Mammoth Swine, and for like I think I think I creep Modest Scuff Lele too. So yeah, Jolly Lando. I'm not really a fan of Jolly Lando, but in this case, I felt like it was the appropriate way. We got Earthquake, U-turn, Superpower, and Stone Edge. Stone Edge to Bob. Torn, Superpower to just Bob. Even like a fatter variant of Mammoth One after Rocks. And like U-turn just as like a Revenger to Zam for momentum. Earthquake just as a spammable move once once Torn is gone. So that's pretty clean. Bronzong here is a set I'm really proud of. It's Garibald Explosion Trick from Stealth Rock with a weakness policy. It's pretty much designed to um, lure Tornado's T lead, because Tornado's T pretty much fucks my team up. It's Z Torn on his squad, so Z Hurricane pretty much fucks my entire roster because like Bronzong and Scissor are eaten alive by Heatwave, and I think he will run like U-turn knockoff as the filler moves. They just give him so much utility. We brought this set in the first week, and I see no reason why I wouldn't bring it again. It's just that good versus me. If he leads Torn and he clicks like Heatwave, Z Heatwave, or Knockoff, I guarantee knock it out with the Gyro Ball at +2, which is really clean. Volcarona here is my designated breaker in case he brings some fat stuff. Thanks to like knockoff on Finny, this thing doesn't really have any switch-ins. I'm max special attack, timid specs with overheat, bug buzz, giga drain, and fire dance. Fire dance can sweep once I remove like his faster monster in Torn and Zam, but as well as Kellio. But most of the time I will be clicking overheat as like knock chaos everything pretty much besides thick fat legs and Kellio. But even Kellio takes like 50, and if he's like AV Torn, he takes like 70, 75 ish. It's pretty insane like what kind of damage this Volcarona can do. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with with the set. Like it just puts in so much work. I could lead off with it versus his team, but because like my Bronzong is designed to beat like to get rid of the biggest threat to my team pretty much in Torn, I won't lead it. Scissor is a 3 attack Scissor with Roost, Bullet Punch, U-turn, and Iron Head. Iron Head just to like um, catch a later that things it can like set up on me, like go for Carmine or predict me, like just go for a Psychic or Shadow Ball fearing the Bronzong or the Reuniclus coming in. And I want to be able to capitalize on that by just clicking Iron Head and buff this thing. So, as I said, Bronzong dedicated lead, I'm gonna lead it with it. I see it's Keldeo. The only reason why I would lead Keldeo is to catch a Bronzong lead. This is probably sub or taunt. He probably predicts me not to have the Zen Headbutt, and he would be correct if he predicts that. But I can just, like, I have 2 counters alive and at full right now, so I'm not worried about Keldeo at the moment. I can just go into my Reuniclus here and, like, spam Psychic versus this. I just go for the Psychic. So he goes for the Hydro Pump, revealing that he is max special attack but probably timid. And I break the sub. And here I click Toxic, trying to catch any mon that can switch in. As he goes into Tapu Lele, and putting that thing on a timer would be very nice. Oh no, I actually pulled a double into Bronzong, predicting him to like just switch in something here, like potentially the Tornadoes would be a fine play, as well as the Munchlax or even the Lele. So Bronzong pretty much covered all options. He wasn't staying in there. Versus the Reunion, and had he stayed in and clicked like Toxic, if he was like a sub-toxic variant with Hydro Pump, I would have covered that as well, and that would have given me a pivot into my Tapu Fini on the next turn. But Lele comes in, I'm just gonna try to Roxy as he makes a very ballsy play and goes for Taunt. I'm very heavily invested in attack, so I think like Gyro Ball probably wouldn't have knocked it out, but it would have done a fuck ton, like at least like 80%, 88%, and he risks the damage here, and yeah, it works out for him. Very good play. I switch out in Reuniclus, knowing that Keldeo is likely to come in, and now is the turn where I'm clicking Toxic. As he brings in Munchlax, I click Toxic and I miss. Unfortunate, but not the end of the world. I click Toxic again, I think, and I miss on the incoming memo. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. And now my bad luck continues. I'm actually like hovering over Tapu Fini and Scissor here on what kind of mon I want to switch in. I was kind of certain a knockoff would be coming, so I wanted to go into Sizz. But I also was hovering over Fini, and right next to Fini on my on the squad here down below there was Lando, and I actually clicked Lando on accident on this turn. I wanted to click, like I wanted to move over to Scissor, but some of my fat fingers clicked the mouse button, and yeah, I go Lando. Lando actually would look like a stun play if he goes for Earthquake or Rocks because getting Intimidator, but there was no way in hell I was going hard Lando on Mamoswine. Like I made some ballsy plays this season with Lando, but this was not one of them. This was just a stupid misclick on my part, and knocks off my Choice Scarf, which pretty much makes my Lando useless. But now that my Lando is useless, I can like actually play it a little bit more aggressively, which means I go for the superpower here, knowing that he's not Life Orb, and either like he could be Adamant, but the roll looks more jolly to me unless he like really got a low Adamant roll, which he like could have gotten, and he actually later will reveal that he's Adamant, I think, because he's a very slow mammal. But I click superpower here to keep this thing low. It's just like very much like in my best interest to keep this low because this is a big threat. I don't really have the best switches. Yes, I get a Fist Death Scissor, but Earthquake spam could be annoying, especially if it's like Earth Plate or something. I still don't know the item yet. So I go for the superpower, try to keep it low, put in range of everything. But he reveals to be pretty bulky Mammoth Swine because superpower to uninvest Mammoth Swine was then like 95 to 108, so a very clean chance to knock him out. And he gets up his Roxy and gets the Mago Berry back. Pretty clean tech to keep this Mammo healthy and guarantee like rocks up on his side. Now I can go into my Scissor here and click Iron Head. I want to click Rooster U-turn, but I still think that I can like potentially get a free roost off on Munchlax depending on the set, as well as on like a choice lock, not choice lock Lele, but on Lele that lacks HP Fire, potentially versus Keldeo and potentially later versus Mamoswine. So I'm not too worried yet. So I click an Iron Head to get some chip off on whatever wants to come in, and I do some nice 50% to Torn, but now I have to switch in and I can't go into my Landorus here. He goes for the Heat Wave, which definitely I knew it would be a 2-hit KO, but he actually burns me, and now I'm like, I really want to preserve this thing and go into Reuniclus, into Tapu Fini on the next turn, but and then like pivot into Bronzong on like a potential Z Hurricane. But now that I'm burned, I'm like, yeah, fuck it, this game is not going my way. Let's just stay in. Maybe he over-predicting goes for knock and I can get it like a Stonish off, which would keep him low. I don't know if it would have knocked him out. Definitely would have done like some nice 30-35% and really keep it low. But yeah, he gets the burn, so that kind of sucks. But he can just go for the Heat Wave again, knock me out here. Sadly, this like the whole misclick dilemma and shit like that were kind of annoying. Also, like the toxic miss on Mamoswine allows it to be alive still. Had I hit the toxic, I could have just knocked it out with the Lando with the superpower and the toxic damage. But what can you do? What can you do? Anyway, I can now go into my Zong and get a Myrox just to like pressure it a little. I was hoping he wouldn't go for the knockoff here and like just go out there because he needs to keep it healthy. Keldeo comes in and I'm calcing like a speedy Keldeo with like a lot of special attack and like just like 60-ish EVs and HP because he wants to creep Volcarona. So, and it tells me that my Garaball is guaranteed breaking its sub. I wasn't sure how bulky it is, but I felt like it was in my best interest to just Garaball here. If it's an offensive sub variant, I break the sub and like force him into attacking me, which gives me free Finny and a free knock because of that. And if he wants to try to pull a double switch, trying to catch my Reuniclus or my Finny, Garaball does a fuck to know whatever I want to switch in, bar Munchlax. So I go for the Garaball and he brings in his Lele, and this Garaball does 80. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I switch out into Reuniclus, thinking he might want to preserve this, but he just fires off the Shadow Ball here. I don't know why he was trying to sack his Lele on the turn, because that would have given me 3 bullet punches versus Alakazam versus Mamoswine the rest of the way. But yeah, he goes for the Shadow Ball. I see where it's coming from. He doesn't really have the best Bronzong switch in at this point, especially if I'm like for some reason like heat proof Zen Headbutt and I can just bop the Keldeo. But at this point he probably knows that I don't have the Zen, so there's that. Reuniclus catches the Shadow Ball. It's not. I knew it wasn't a 2 KO from the range I was at, but he gets the Spadafron. Okay, fuck it. He gets lefties back. I get lefties back. I click Protect just to like keep this thing as healthy as possible. I knew he wasn't going for anything stupid here, and now I like go into my Finny, switch it to Rain Up, and take the Shadow Ball. It does some solid damage, but it gives me a free knock here. Lele is still kind of low. Still in range of like a Psychic after rocks from Uniclus if he like brings the terrain up. And I knock off the incoming Munchlax is Mago Berry, which is pretty clean. I go for the Defog here. I probably should have just attacked, knowing that this thing might be cursed. As you see, is Mago Berry, so it's like a Gluttony set, which means no switch into Volcarona at all. But I want his rocks gone because I want to bring in Volcarona soon. So, and with Mamoswine being low, I can like probably keep like potentially keep them away for the entirety of the game. Now into the Scissor, yes, he goes for the curse. I'm scouting for the return or body slam here. And now I go for the U-turn, which does 36. Go back into Finny on the scout for the fire punch. And Moonblast is a roll depending on the set. Like the set looks like no HP, like just max bulk, like max defense, max special defense. Also gauging from the fire punch and return damage. But here I'm like, do I want to go for the Moonblast, which is a roll to knock him out potentially, or do I want to go back into Sith and take another 14? I decide that um, health on my Finny is not as important right now. I can get lefties back on substitute plays from Kelio, on like predicted taunts from Lele and shit like that. So and like even if he returns on this next turn, I'm at 37, and then like I get 2 rounds of lefties back, which would leave me at like 50% after that, which is more than I need. So I click Moonblast here, hoping it knocks him out. Just hoping, but it doesn't. Does 20, so his max special defense looks like even careful nature, and he does 40 with the return. Like Munchlax's kind of strong, not gonna lie. um, like the Mascot Junior here, but I can knock it out with the knockoff. Knockoff the safest play because it would have gotten rid of any item if you wanted to preserve this as fodder, like going hard into Torn or something. Like Torn would have been a fine play really because he probably is Z. But now he brings in Mammoth Swine. Like I only got like 32, 44 EVs in like in speed, but I don't really have a switch in if he clicks Earthquake. I could have tried to go Zong, but knockoff is also a fine play, and Zong doesn't give me much. Gives him a free knock on the next, and I don't really want to give him free rocks on this turn, and then a free chip on Scissor on the next turn. So I decide to stay in and serve, guaranteed knocking this out, even if it's max HP. And if it's a slow Mammoth Swine, I prevent rocks either way. And like really, versus anything that could come in on the next turn, I can just defog rocks away. So I go for the Serpent. He is actually a very slow Mammo. He just has like enough speed for no speed Finny, and yeah, that's really nice for me. I prevent rocks, which frees up Vault tremendously. I can go from there. So he brings in Lele on this turn, and I think I go into Reuniclus here just to see like what he wants to do. But he goes for the Carmine. My first instinct told me to go hard into Volt, but I couldn't pull it off. I really couldn't. And now I'm in like a kind of bad spot. But like I still know that this Reuniclus takes like max 66-ish, maybe 70-ish if he's modest or so from the Shadow Ball. So I know I live it, but I don't really want to take the damage because Reuniclus is still useful for every member of his team. Like well played Reuniclus pretty much beats the rest of his squad if I preserve enough sacks to get regen back potentially. So I go into my Vault, predicting him to want to fire off a Shadow Ball now. Then I can go for the Overheat to knock everything out that wants to come in pretty much. Body Kelly. I take 47, unfought, but not the end of the world. And I was really close to clicking Giga Drain, really close, but I just couldn't pull it off versus a +1 Lele. I needed to guarantee the kill there. And I go for the Overheat, and you guessed it, I miss. Just not going my way this game, but like I could have gone 50% off or 45 versus this Calio. But yeah, what can I do? Yeah, go into my Zonger, I think, covering both him staying in, kinda, and covering in the incoming Lele. So I go for the Gyro here, as he brings in Calio, and now he reveals to be like max HP Calio or something. Gyro Ball is 22, and I'm like, I think I'm Brave 108 or 136 EVs, something like that. So this is a really strong Gyro coming from Zonger, but maybe it's just like a slower variant of Keldeo, like a modest slow Keld. Definitely could be a thing, but I wasn't sure. Like anyway, my plan now is to pretty much Trick Room up and then get up my rocks. I'm not too worried right now about this Keldeo because I still get a pretty healthy Finny and a healthy Reuniclus. So I go for the Trick Room. Yes, he goes for the sub. I give him the free sub and free lefties, and now I get up my rocks as he actually goes for the Carmine here on the next turn, which is pretty clean. But now I can go into my Reuniclus. Maybe predict like the explosion here because he goes for substitute again. Now I can just click Psychic here. It's pretty free as he makes a smart play and goes for sub again. Yes, it kind of keeps him low, but it's like probably his best play. He goes for the Hydro Pump here on the last turn of Trick Room, which I think was his play because it would have 2 KO'd my Reuniclus there. But yeah, he misses. So the first first hex that goes in my favor really. Um, I was like, my bad, but he was like, come on man, like the way this game treated you, it's deserved. So I'm like, yeah, okay if you say so, but like yeah, it's like pretty fortunate for me and unfortunate for him, but I guess it really cancels some of the earlier hacks out. Especially like had I gotten the overheat off, this Kalia would have been way lower and in range of my next Psychic easily. He goes for another sub, but I just pick Psychic. I'm not too worried about the Hydro Pump now, and I want to knock this thing out. He goes for the second Calm Mind here, which is probably his best play, knowing that he's out of range of a Psychic. I don't know if it was a roll, but it probably wasn't. This uninvested Reunic is not that strong. So he gets a second command up, and I'm pretty much forced to like um, to choose something that has to take a hit here. And I decide to let my Reunic take a hit because looking at the rest of his team, he has Lele, Zam, and Tornadoes, and I still have my weakness policy Zonga in the back. So once he goes for the Shadow Ball or the knockoff slash Heat Wave, this is game over pretty much. I go for Protect now here to waste one Hydro Pump, and now I hope he misses another one, but he gets the hit off, which is good for him. Had he hit the first Hydro Pump, I would have just like pivoted into Finny to get regen back with my thingy here, so it like wasn't too big of a deal for me because like it could have just like sacked this fucker here. But yeah, I knock it out with the Saga C. Does like almost 80 with the Hydro Pump, which is unfortunate, but I can go into Leyland now. I still want to keep this thing, and I can go hard into my Scissor. If this is timid, he can't 2 KO me, but he actually wills to be modest now. And this is a 2 KO with Shadow Ball into Psychic, and I don't want to pivot around this fucker. I just like let my Scissor go down. Yes, it would have been nice to Bullet Punch versus the other two Mon, but I can go into my Vault now and claim one. If he lets this thing go, he pretty much loses out on terrain, which makes Zam significantly weaker. So I can just go for the Fire Dance, and if I go for the Fire Dance and get a boost, he pretty much has to burn a Z on me because he can't afford to miss, or has to go into Zammer here, which I would have taken because Zammer would have given me a free Trick Room with Zonga and pretty much a free win. So I got him in the spot where I wanted him to be. I don't get the special attack race, but that's no big deal. He goes into Taunt, and now this game is over. He's like, after this game was like, I thought I had this game in the back with Zam because like everything was low. Reuniclus can't beat like if it's a sub Zammer 1v1 because Psychic doesn't break. And yeah, like Finny was low, and Zonga is probably 2 KO'd by Heat Wave into 2 Shadow Balls from Zam. But with me having the explosion and the Gyro Ball, this game was still in my favor. And now I'm like just going for the trick. I tap GG as he goes for the Heat Wave, Itazaki, and we go for the Trick Room, get the weakness policy boost, and sweep this game with Big Zonga. So this was a very exciting one, very wild one versus Melon, and yeah, we actually clinched the #1 seed in our conference pretty much with this game. GG to Melon. Another really fun game, another wild game hex wise, but yeah, he brought a very cool squad. I'm hopefully I face him in the in the playoffs again. Would be hype, even though like I really don't want to prep for Ton Zam Lele for a third time, but yeah, would enjoy playing him again. He's like a good guy, good friend, and yeah, it's like always really fun to play him. So we improved to 9-1 with a nice and clean plus 34 differential, I think. So off the charts pretty much, and yeah, we are pretty much done with the regular season. We still want to obviously like claim another win or two, maybe like set a record with a like plus 40 differential or something. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and a comment if you did, and I catch you in the next video. See ya.